I'm Mandy.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is The Coop.
This is Coop Faves, where we share our favorite homeschooling resources and adventures.
Today's fave is Fun Fables, bedtime stories with a twist. It's a storytelling podcast show for kids. So my kids have the best theatrical time together because of this podcast.
Nice.
So I'm going to link the website on the show notes, and it's available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So what is it? It's a podcast show for kids that tell fables with a twist.
Perfect.
The author is a mom who started writing and recording these fun fables for her daughter in 2015. And then her son, when he was born, she kept adding to it. So now it's for him. So she obviously has 2 kids. And in 2020, she decided to turn it into a podcast.
Nice.
And she keeps adding more. So the storyteller, it's not her.
Okay.
But the storyteller uses different voices with super entertaining expressions to tell classic fable stories in a different way. And the stories are witty and funny and embellished. They're lighthearted, not scary at all. They're great for bedtime.
Oh, nice.
So you would think like these fables might be super scary, but because they're so fun, it's so funny.
Okay.
It's just ridiculous.
That's awesome.
I'll give an example in a little bit. It exaggerates certain characters or adds in characters usually ignored. Like the big bad wolf for the 3 little pigs, his wife is like, I want bacon. Go get me some bacon.
That's
in that
funny.
kind of voice.
Right.
Episodes are between 5 and 12 minutes long.
Perfect.
And the stories include, and I'm going to read off a whole bunch here to see if any pique your interest. Humpty Dumpty, Sleeping Beauty, Jack and Jill, Hansel and Gretel, Rumpelstiltskin. I mean, even Rumpelstiltskin, when you think about it, that's a pretty dark fable.
Yeah.
And so I might not play it for a 4-year-old.
Sure.
But my probably 6 and up would love it. Jack and the Beanstalk, 3 Billy Goats Gruff, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, Rapunzel, Ugly Duckling, Goldilocks, The Frog Prince, 3 Little Pigs, Tale of Peter Rabbit. There's a bunch of Peter Rabbit ones.
Cute.
Mary Had a Little Lamb, Snow White, Winnie the Pooh, and there's a number of Winnie the Pooh ones and more. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example. Humpty Dumpty says, why do you dress me as an egg? The story doesn't even say that I'm an egg. And then the narrator says, you are right. Okay, what do you want to be then? And Humpty Dumpty says, a pelican.
Perfect.
And so then the Humpty Dumpty goes and does a costume change. And while he's doing that, the king and all his men, they show up. And they're like, well, I'm not going to wait for Humpty to fall. I have a pajama party in 17 minutes for Prince Charming. So the king leaves. So who is going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again? So you have to listen to know what happens next.
That's so funny.
But that's just how silly it is.
Right.
And then she uses a character over and over again, which is the big bad wolf. And you know him by his voice.
Okay. It's great.
Yeah. And he's in the Little Red Riding Hood. He's in the 3 Little Pigs. But he's also in things like the big bad wolf swallowed a fly. And when they give the title, you hear his voice go, no, I didn't. And then he goes, I just did. And so it's so silly. And then they go through the story of he's swallowed a spider to catch the fly.
That's
and
so funny.
He crosses over a number of episodes. So it's a fun recurring character too. And so you're connecting to them. So 3 reasons it's our favorite. 1, it helps our kids to go to bed while becoming very familiar with classic fables and stories with smiles on their faces and giggles in their heart. Sometimes it's so funny and so engaging that then we're like, okay, last one. And then you have to go to sleep.
Right. Okay, we're done.
Yeah. And even my son will leave his room to go sit with them and watch them perform it.
So funny.
Okay, number 2, provides enrichment that shows how much fun it can be to transform a story just using dialogue and anthropomorphism. Mm-hmm. And number 3, our kids love it and share in enjoying, listening, and acting it out together. How we use it.
Yes.
All right.
Tell me.
Number 1, we typically use it to help our children fall asleep at night. The podcast is so engaging that it really cuts down on them getting out of bed. Mm-hmm. So if you really want your own time at night, if they're listening to that, at least they're not coming in asking for water and having you come and scratch their back because they're occupied. Number 2, our children, especially our 8-year-old, asks to listen a lot. She loves to act it out at night, right at bedtime, and will sometimes call us to the room for the short show.
Yes.
Sometimes each child will take a turn. It's so adorable, and they have the wit and humor of movement and gestures to go right along with it. It's like, especially my 8-year-old, like she knows.
She's expressive.
Yeah, she's figured out when to flutter her eyes, when to roll her eyes, because she can hear that they're annoyed. So then she's a natural.
Yeah, I believe it.
So it totally fulfills her like theatrical needs. And we all laugh together. And then number 3, how we use it. Sometimes during the day, my kids will do the same thing as they do at nighttime. And they just love performing for each other.
That's awesome.
So that's it. Fun Fables.
Sweet.
Thanks for listening. We love your support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast, leave a rating and review to let us know how we're doing, and share our podcast with your friends who need a little community, humility, and joyful fun in homeschooling.